What is up, everybody? It's Tankman here, back with another review for you guys. In today's review, we're going to be going over the Mig-17AS. The only difference between this Mig-17 and the normal tech tree version in the USSR tech tree is the fact that this one gets two R3Ss. Now, obviously, R3s don't seem like much because they're really not, but they really do assist you in those key moments that you may not actually expect. Now, for overall performance, this plane gets a 7 out of 10 for me. My main issue with it is that it compresses at those higher speeds, but every MiG does that. And that's something we're used to with the MiGs, at least. Now, it does have a very good turn rate. When it comes to dogfighting, it is probably my most comfortable jet to dogfight in, especially against sabers and all that. I give that a straight 10 out of 10, and you'll see shortly later. So, the missiles are very good because you're at a 9.0 BR, which means you can face things with all aspect missiles. I know, that's the state we're in. So, if you do end up getting chased down by a Su-25 or a 810, the best course of action is to head on them and just waste a missile. Now, they are very good for bombers just like that. As you can see, it's just pretty much just a free kill. These missiles do play a very decent role when it comes to either making someone turn or getting something that you can't actually catch to kill it. So you can see right here, I was going to head on a Harrier, or a Hunter, sorry, but he's got 4 30mm 8-inch, is not worth the risk at all. I do attempt to give chase. I have a missile prepped just in case. I try to give a burst, but to be honest, aiming these guns can be difficult. That's probably the only other downside. I do potato, but I do eventually get them, which is good. That gives me kill number 2. And you might see the very first thing I do is use my thrust to get myself back up to altitude. This is one of this thing's main advantages. You have a very good thruster weight. You can gain altitude very quickly. I took out the Key 200. Pretty decent shot there. Now, there's a C-Vixen, which we all know all they do is run away, like 90% of the time. I have a missile. I am debating if I want to launch at them, but it's just not worth the missile. I see an Intinard. I try to get a shot in, but he maneuvers last second and gets away from that. But you're also going to see the key point of its handling and dogfighting. You'll see that in 1 second. I end up fighting more guys, but I do not believe I get any more kills past those 2 for now. Maybe not. I believe it come down on this G91. So, another thing this thing is excellent at is making money. This thing is extremely good at making money. When I initially bought this thing, it's probably, give it a good 8-9 months ago. I kind of just bought it just to buy it. I was grinding out the USSR tech tree. And within a week of just playing it and not messing much around, just straight up playing it, not only did I learn that it's an excellent jet. I mean, it's a Mig-17. You get what you would expect from a Mig-17. But the other factor was the amount of money it made me. At this point in time, Silver Lions was a little bit of a struggle for me. I do have a very long beginner's guide that will be starting to come out soon. I've been working on it for a while now. I don't know much longer it's going to take, but, keep looking out for that if you, want tips on grinding and all that good stuff. So, the last guy right here is a G91, and I initiate a dogfight. I believe this guy subbed to my channel, so props to you, thank you. Appreciate it very much. So, the very first thing I do is put him into an energy trap. That's this thing's one main strong suit. You have such a good thrust to weight ratio, especially with that little fuel. There's pretty much no weight going against you. You're able to easily energy trap people, and that usually happens. And once you get to a low enough speed, those takeoff flaps actually help a lot more than you think. So I try to use a missile on him. and he actually evades it. I wasn't really expecting it to hit. I was just trying to get it off my pylon so it takes less weight. So at first I thought he was going to try to go back to base, and I was like, oh great. But he actually committed to the dogfight. Now you're going to see me pop my takeoff flaps and the air brake. And this is all to stay behind them. This thing is very good at bleeding that speed, just so you can sit on your enemy. And you pretty much turn into a UFO at around 250 miles an hour. You'll see your plane just start doing some weird maneuvers. It's quite interesting. So after some rolling and trying to stay out of his guns, which right here he could have got me, but I just barely stayed above his guns. I'm trying my best to stay away from his guns. I notice my fuel is almost out, and a teammate tries to interrupt, which pretty much ruined the flow of the dogfight. I think he would have lasted a little bit longer if the teammate didn't come in. And this teammate knew we were doing a 1v1. It was in chat. I almost get him there, but no dice, so I have to break off and recommit back inwards, in which he lines himself up and I take off his wing. And that's the fight. GG dude, if you see this, good fight, you did pretty good. Now that's pretty much the end of the review. I'm sorry for any background noise. There was pretty active today for some reason. Now, as I was saying, this thing is a very excellent moneymaker. It can also grind out the USSR tech tree. I have the entire just thing done that I just never bought. I never bought any of them. Because to be honest, I stopped caring about grinding the Russian tech tree. Do I recommend this jet? Well, if you don't want to just, ground pound and kill people with your R60Ms on an Su-25 at 9.7, then yes, this plane is very, very good for its battle rating. It can handle itself in an up tier, simply just because of the missiles. Even though they're not that great of missiles, you can still handle yourself. And the missiles that you face generally aren't that maneuverable, excluding the AIM-9L and the R60s, but you can always do the General Lee tactic where you just shoot a missile head on and distract it. Anyways, if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, subscribe, maybe comment. I always love looking forward to reading your comments. It's going to be Tankman out. Peace.